Hey, Dave.
What's up?
Do you want to play comp with me? We need one more on our team.
Actually, I was planning on solo queuing it because last season, I got Luna's Howl mostly solo, but I only did 1400 of it. I think I can do the full 21.
Ha! 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 You are literally never going to get Mountaintop solo queuing in today's Crucible environment.
What do you mean? I think I can do it, man.
Nah, 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 nah. No, you're not.
Oh, okay. So, as you guys just witnessed, I was challenged. I was disrespected by my own friend. How could he do that? No, that is obviously just a dramatic recreation. In reality, he told me I couldn't do it just because he wanted me to play with him on his grind for the Mountaintop. But nonetheless, I purposely waited for the last month of the Crucible so I could fully solo queue out the entirety of the Mountaintop in 1 month. And I did it fairly easily. The way I did it was I played 3 games the first week, got my 60 points, 3 games the second week, got my 60 points, and then this next week I grinded out the entirety of it so that I was 60 points off. A little bit annoying, but that's what I did, and then I got my 60 points, and as of the most recent reset, I went to Shaxx and I got my Mountaintop. God, it is pretty. Alright, and just to keep up with the theme of this channel, we're going to be looking at the weapon, even though I'm sure you've already seen it a million times. It is the Mountaintop. The Mountaintop is a kinetic grenade launcher. It's got a lightweight frame, giving you that invisible +2 to mobility. It's got hard launch, it's got volatile launch, it's got spike nades, sticky nades, it's got rangefinder, and its unique perk is micro missile. This weapon fires grenades in a straight line and gives you a passive, massively increased projectile speed. If you're running spike nades, it will detonate on impact, and if you're running sticky, you guessed it, it sticks to the ground. So overall, this weapon is gorgeous, it is exciting, people debate if it's pinnacle or not, and I 100% think it is pinnacle. This weapon feels incredible to me. This is the way I was running it as of the time of filming, however, recently I've been using volatile launch a lot more than hard launch, actually. I like the velocity turned down a little bit, and rangefinder already maxes it anyways, so extra blast radius is just free damage you'd be missing out on otherwise. So now we're actually going to go ahead and talk about getting this weapon for me. So now I'm just going to real quick talk about solo queuing to get this weapon and whatnot. Obviously, I showed you my loadout. I was running Gwizinvest, I was running Ace of Spades, I was running the Long Goodbye, and obviously I was running a grenade launcher. I used the Courageous Surrender for most of it, but honestly, I should have just been using a year 1 play of the game. Year 1 play of the game is so good for getting out your grenade launcher kills. Really, I was able to just do about all of it after I swapped to play of the game because it just freely lines up doubles and the occasional triples. So it made things really easy for me. Anyways, the thought process is Ace is one of the best guns in the game, no doubt about that. It's incredibly strong and it's reliable, consistent, and has good range. So I was using Ace. I was using the Long Goodbye because it's probably my favorite sniper to use, and I didn't just want to use a shotgun the entire time. So I used the Long Goodbye. And literally, I just clicked on heads most of the time. That's just how you win comp games. You just click heads. There's no counterplay. They die. There you go. I think people think it's way too hard. I think that even the average player, or even the a little bit below average player, can get to 21 as long as they play comp and they don't get afraid of it. And you might hear voices in my original clips, but that's because I was just talking to friends. I didn't want to take comp super seriously and get sweaty and potentially get upset about it or think it's a struggle, so I was just hanging out in voice chat with some friends playing Anthem, some friends discussing other games, and I just hung out and talked to my friends while playing comp, and it made it a breeze if we're being completely honest. So that's what I did. I got the 2100, I got the gun. So now let's talk about the gun. So let me start my review of the Mountaintop by saying I love the Mountaintop. The Mountaintop is so good, it is so exciting, and it is absolutely a pinnacle weapon, in my opinion. I know a lot of people have thoughts and opinions on it, discussing like, oh, why run this instead of a shotgun, why run this instead of a sniper, and there's actually a lot of reasons to do so. So what the Mountaintop does is, well, it either one-shots people, or it makes your primary the star with a certain playstyle. I 100% recommend sticky nades because spike nades do not actually change the one-shots, you know? It's either a one-shot or it's not, and spike nades doesn't change that. It might make it better against supers, so that's a fair argument if you need to, but generally speaking, I just like sticky nades, because if you miss your grenade, it sticks, and people will walk into it, and you might think, oh, people aren't going to walk into it, they're not that dumb, or they're going to see it. Trust me, as someone who's used the Prospector for so long, they never do. They always walk into it, they always forget about nades, or they get shot from an angle and have to push that way. It happens consistently. Sticky nades is incredibly good. And specifically, sticky nades is really good because if you want to show off another weapon, if it has quick draw, or as they just announced that it is a bug that we can't put the quick access sling on it. So if you put a quick access sling on it, for those who don't know, you shoot your shot and before you reload you have a quick draw to whatever weapon you're going to go to. And that means you're going to be able to clean up incredibly quickly. There's a couple clips where I end up doing that without quick access sling and it still works, but the fact that you'll be able to do it quicker and not worried about getting shotgunned immediately is incredible. So that's super exciting, but generally speaking, it's just free damage. So normally with most weapons, you miss your shot and you don't do damage. But with a sticky grenade launcher, you miss your shot and you can officially change your playstyle to work around it, try and zone people into it, or just shoot at them and they might walk into it themselves. Or you don't even have to shoot at them. Sometimes people just walk into them. So there's no reason not to run that perk, in my opinion. Especially as somebody who likes to show off primaries, I can consistently shoot at the ground and just be able to swap to another weapon and get the kill. It's great. It makes this weapon itself scary because you can one-shot them and you're forcing and you can zone with it incredibly effectively. So it's scary by those rights, but it's also scary because it allows you to really focus on whatever primary you're trying to use. It will give you a better time to kill. It will help you proc kill clip or rampage on a weapon when you're trying to show that off specifically. It's just going to help you. It's just good. And obviously there are some people who they have an ace shotgun, an ace hand cannon, and they like to run them together, and that's completely fine because that synergy's there. But what I'm saying is if you're a person who really, like you have a loadout, but there's really only one weapon you care about and it is your primary, this is an incredible weapon to go with it. So with special weapons, you have all these stars of the shows. You have snipers, shotguns, fusion rifles, you have all that sort of thing, right? So you think, why this special? Well, obviously the reasons that I mentioned so far, very valid ones, are this really allows you to show off a primary as the star of the show. Whether it needs that first kill to really get snowballing, or just in general it allows its time to kill be a little bit more competitive because your enemies are starting off with less health because they walked into a sticky nade. It also has incredible map zoning control. People see them on the ground and either they walk into them anyways and they die or they're low, or they don't go that way. So you know exactly what ways they have to be going because most of these maps don't have a million options for pushing through a choke and whatnot. So that's already really good. Along with the fact that just like the other options, it still has all the same one-shot kills potential. And like and unlike snipers, it has there's no range that it doesn't one-shot, right? It one-shots at all ranges if you land your shot. Granted, it's a little bit harder to do because it's not hit scan and whatnot, but it still has that one-shot kill potential, and if you miss out on it, it has a million other benefits to it as well. So, yeah, I have to say that I think this weapon is really, really good. And I was afraid of it first because it wasn't a grenade launcher to me, right? When I read the perk, I was like, no, that is a rocket launcher. They just label it a grenade launcher. I don't know why, because they don't want to say rocket launcher in the kinetic slot, but after using it, and specifically after using sticky nades, yeah, it's absolutely a grenade launcher, especially with the way I'm playing it using sticky nades. Sticky nades is generally the perk that I put on all of my grenade launchers and I look for on all my grenade launchers ever since I learned to love them with the Prospector, and I have to say, it's incredible to use. It's so much fun. The only real downside here is that you can one-shot yourself, as I've done here in the video once or twice. If you shoot somebody too close range with it, you do take damage from your own explosion. So that is the only downside I can really think of this thing, or if you have a specific build that does want to use a fusion, a sniper, or whatnot. But if you want to use a grenade launcher, and you decide not to use the fighting line, because I think the fighting line is really strong, not taking special ammo, this is the one to go for. If you don't have it, you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. It's going to take time. Getting a team might help. Solo queuing it, it will just take time, but you can do it. Because I would say that if you want to use a grenade launcher on the Crucible, this is the one I will be going to from now on. Until another one comes out and proves me wrong, this is going to be the one I'm using. I absolutely love this weapon, and I'm excited for all the new pinnacles and all the new legendaries that have been announced recently. If you like this review, if you like the weapon, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, do whatever, join my Discord, follow me on any of my other social media, and thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day.